So far, the launch has been smooth. Our operators were ready to go. We haven't had any shortage of supply. We haven't seen really long lines. We always take lessons from other states, but each market is, so different from one state to the next. Delawareans are not like people from Maryland or New Jersey. That said, we had a focus on tech and a focus on preparation with our vendors, and that seemed to work just fine in Delaware. So if you go to our website, you can actually click on the top tab that says NCS. That is our analytical tab. It provides input on sales each month, on location of sales, and you can really even dig down as deep as you want. And that's our public-facing data portal. We did a lottery process here in Delaware, and we selected 125 applicants from that lottery process, which cover the range of licenses, cultivation, manufacturing, as well as retail, social equity sides of each of those licenses, as well as micro versions of those licenses. To date, we have issued, I believe, 83 conditional licenses, which means they've met the minimum initial qualifications to be told to go find their space and to start building out their process, their facilities and their processes. Of those, 3 have gone active. They've all been cultivations. Everybody else is still in the process of site location and building out. As soon as those are ready, we'll bring them online. Several of those licenses are social equity. They cover the range of different types of licenses. There are retail, cultivation, and manufacturing. We just last week launched our grant program for those companies. Those that have conditional licenses so far can apply to receive, depending on the type of license it is, a stream of funding that is done on a milestone basis. As they prepare for the next phase of building out a business, they will get an injection of cash, and they can go to our website to learn more about that. So we know, to us, it's very important that we have an equitable industry. For too long, folks were locked up from cannabis, and now they're being locked out of the industry, and we don't want that here in Delaware. So we're making every effort we can to ensure that folks who meet the social equity criteria can get in and be successful in Delaware. We're talking about issues of local versus state sovereignty, which get very complex. That's why it was important for me to bring on the adult use market as soon as I could when I came in, to really show that this is a reputable market. It's an industry that can add to the revenue base, and also doesn't lead to adverse consequences just from having dispensaries in your local area. Currently, the governor is working with the legislature and local governments in Sussex, Kent, and Newcastle to try to come up with a way to provide a revenue share while also opening up the avenue for zoning for these new businesses.
Right, and for those that are not so familiar, remind us about the tax structure here for recreational sales in Delaware.
Right now, the tax structure is 15% for recreational and no tax on the medical sales. Obviously, we have the challenge of breaking into a market where the 2 states next to us, as you said, have been going for a while and have many licensees that are open and running. And so they have lower prices and a little more customer support. That being said, we've been open for a month and a half now. The numbers look great here. And we are fortunate enough that those states being open actually educated our consumers in a way that most states don't get when they first start. So we have consumers who come in and understand terpenes, and they understand different profiles of different plants, the different ways you can ingest or inhale cannabis. So we do have that benefit, which has been helpful. Delaware has a different definition of what is hemp. As compared to the federal government. So anything that is pulled off the plant and that is a derivative, it cannot be considered hemp in Delaware. Delaware also takes a total THC content view. So saying something is THC-A versus THC doesn't work in Delaware. So these products are not legal in Delaware currently. The question is, how do we enforce the situation and how do we educate about the situation? Many times calling something hemp-derived leads people to believe they can skirt the regulatory structure and even sell to folks who are under the age of 21. That is an unacceptable position. Here in Delaware, we are working with law enforcement, the legislature, and stakeholders to try to find a solution that allows us to oversee this program, prevent the access to children, and make sure that any products that are sold in Delaware are sold in a regulated way and they're tested and safe for consumption. So the way it works here is we were empowered to issue 125 licenses across the multiple streams. After that, after technically August 1st, the OMC is able to issue new licenses upon application. However, until those licensees are up and running, we have no intention of going beyond the 125 until we can see what the market looks like. As I said, the facts on the grounds constantly change. We remain flexible, but until we see what happens with the conditional licensees and where they open and how the industry is running and what supply looks like, we're not going to make any radical change. Yeah, we have the opportunity in Delaware for investors to get involved early. Like I said, we have issued over 80 conditional licenses. And here in Delaware, OMC, which is the regulatory body overseeing the whole industry here, is taking a different tack than a lot of jurisdictions. When you ask what have we learned from watching other jurisdictions, what we've learned is that, we don't want to be the regulator that stands in the way of businesses thriving. We take our responsibility to protect the public very seriously, and where there are infractions and there are violations of regulations, we will step in, correct, and move forward. But as far as businesses getting open, we understand that the facts on the grounds change, that it's a tough industry, you're facing a lot of hurdles, and we're not here to get in the way. We're here to facilitate in any way possible. So for investors, I would say that, in Delaware, you're not going to face the hurdles you face in the other states.